Hello friends, this is Shilpa Banerjee from Skills Zenith Consulting. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing the Karnataka State Board 7th Standard Social Science History first lesson Vijayanagara Empire Part 2. So if you remember, what did we do in the last video? We studied about how the Vijayanagara Empire came into being, and we also studied about the Sangama dynasty, about Hakka and Bukka, how they started the Sangama dynasty. We studied about one of the greatest rulers of the Sangama dynasty, who is Praudadevaraya. Today in this video, we will learn about Saluva dynasty, Tuluva dynasty and Krishnadevaraya. So Saluva dynasty, let's have a quick recap. Again, all this was covered in the previous video. If you haven't yet watched, please go back to the video and please watch it. So Saluva dynasty, if you remember, Sangama dynasty, what happened? The successors of Praudadevaraya were not very powerful. They were quite weak. So the commander in the Sangama dynasty, Saluva Narasimha, he took advantage of the situation and he became the ruler. All this was covered in a previous video. So after taking, that is how the Saluva dynasty came into being. That is how the Saluva dynasty started ruling the Vijayanagara Empire. Now after taking over the power in 1485, Saluva Narasimha ruled for about 6 years and then he died in 1491. When he died, his children were minors, meaning they were very young, they were still children, they had not yet reached the age where they could become kings or could rule the kingdom. So the kingdom was in the protection of a commander of their army called Tuluva Narasanayaka from 1491 to 1503. So how did the next dynasty is Tuluva dynasty. Let's see how the Tuluva dynasty started ruling the Vijayanagara Empire. In 1505, Veera Narasimha, the son of Tuluva Narasanayaka, started the rule of Tuluva dynasty. So you can see that this is a repetition. Whenever a king or the ruler is weak, the commanders or anybody who is powerful in the kingdom, they take over the reins and they start a new dynasty. This is something that's common, that's happened over the dynasties, over different periods in history. So this is how even Tuluva dynasty came into being. After his death in 1509, his brother Krishnadevaraya came to power. So now we will study about one of the most fascinating personalities of the South Indian history. In fact, it wouldn't be wrong to call him the most fascinating personalities in the entire Indian history, Krishnadevaraya. So Krishnadevaraya ruled from 1509 to 1529, which is almost 20 years. He was the most famous and the greatest king among all the Vijayanagara kings. So even all the dynasties put together, he was the most famous of all the Vijayanagara kings. Not much is covered in your textbook, students. But as I told you already, he's such a fascinating personality. I couldn't stop myself from giving you some quick facts about Krishnadevaraya, some extra facts so that you enjoyed the lesson. He possessed one of the largest empires in India at the time. That means geographically his kingdom was the biggest at that time in the history. He held many titles. Kannada Rajya Rama Ramana, meaning the Lord of the Kannada kingdom. Okay. Andhra Bhoja, that means Andhra is, you're actually here you're referring to Telugu. The Telugu Andhra Pradesh or Telugu. Bhoja means somebody who is good in literature. So Andhra Bhoja, Muru Rayara Ganda. So now the literal meaning of this is the Lord of the three kings, but if we interpret it, we can interpret it as the king of the kings. So Krishnadevaraya was so great, he was even the Lord or the king of even the greatest of the kings. Next is Dakshina Samudreshwara. Dakshina means south. So apparently Krishnadevaraya was the first In fact, he extended his kingdom so far that he reached the southern extent of India, which is now part of Ceylon or Sri Lanka. Because he reached so far, which no one had done till then, he is called Dakshina Samudreshwara. Now, how do we know that Krishnadeva was such a great king? There were many Portuguese travelers who came to the Vijayanagara kingdom during his reign. Some of them are Domingo Pace and Fernando Nunes, who visited Vijayanagara Empire during Krishnadeva period. Their travelogues, that means articles written about their travel, they indicate that the king was not only an able administrator but also an excellent general, leading from the front in battle and even attending to the wounded. So friends, if you look at these words carefully, we get an insight into not only Krishnadeva as a king, but we also get to know about him as a person. See, he led from the front. That means he had great leadership skills. He even attended to the wounded. Being a king, if he used to attend to the wounded, that tells us what a very kind soul he was. So this tells us a lot about the kind of person Krishnadeva was, and definitely he was not only a great king but a very good human being. Robert Seville was a great writer who has read all the travelogues of all the foreign travelers who visited the Vijayanagara Empire, and he has written a book. So what he stated that Krishnadeva was an uncommonly brave king. That means you don't see too many kings like him in the history. Intelligent soldier. That means he knew the art of warfare very well. He was very brave. He knew warfare. And a diplomatic expert. Now, what do you mean by diplomacy? That means having good relationship with other kingdoms, with other dynasties. So he was an expert at that too. He defeated his enemies and extended his empire in South India. What he did? He was a brave king. He defeated many of his enemies and he extended his empire in South India. So we know that the foundation of the Vijayanagara Empire was already very strong, which he further built, he further extended and made it one of the greatest empires. Again, this is something that is not mentioned in your book. There was a minister in his kingdom, Minister Timmarasu. This prime minister, he was a prime minister in Krishnadeva court. He played a vital role in his life. Friends, you should know that Timmarasu was a very important personality. In fact, he is given as important as the king himself. There are many stories, there are many movies also made on him. He was regarded, in fact, it is told that he played a very important role in Krishnadeva personal life as well as in his battlefield. That means many of the wars that Krishnadeva has won is due to the very clever advice and very clever war tactics of Timmarasu. So he was the person behind many of Krishnadeva successes in the war field. He was regarded by Krishnadeva as a father figure. How do we know this? There are many historical accounts that tell us that Krishnadeva referred to him as Appaji, which in Telugu or Kannada means father. So that is the kind of importance that Krishnadeva gave to him. So now that we are talking about this famous minister, there is a small quiz for all of you. You see this picture here in the video, right? So just think about it, make your research. This is a homework for you. Tell me, what is this monument and where is it located? It's a very famous monument. There are many stories around this. It's a very fascinating, it has a very fascinating story behind it. So you can know the story for your own interest, but I just want to know what is this monument and where is it located. You can mention it in our comment section. So let's move on with our textbook now. That was some extra information. I hope now you have developed greater interest in knowing about this great ruler Krishnadevaraya. So now what happened at the beginning of his rule, he had to face many revolts. Okay, there were foreigners as well as there were many of the Indian rulers that were his enemies wanted to defeat him. Okay, so he had to face many revolts. It was not very easy for him when he took over as the ruler. So now let's learn about Krishnadevaraya's expeditions. So just because it was not easy for him, he did not give up. He did not give up his throne. He did not stop fighting. In fact, he waged many wars and he succeeded in most of the wars. So now let's see what are his expeditions. That means what are the wars he fought, what are the places he conquered. In 1510, he seized Shivanasamudra fort from Unmattur chief Gangaraja. Later, he won Raichur fort. He supported Portuguese to capture Goa from Bijapur. So, it is said that Krishnadevaraya had a very friendly relationship with Portuguese. So, he supported them to capture Goa from Bijapur. That is how the Portuguese got control of Goa. In 1513, he won Udayagiri fort. In 1518, he captured Cuttack, that is the current Orissa, the capital of Gajapati Pratapa Rudra, a Kalinga king. He then defeated him and married his daughter Jagan Mohini. Friends, you must be aware of this. Matrimonial alliances were very common in history. So whenever two kings fought war, it was very common that whoever was defeated, his daughter was married off to the king who won the war. So that way they could maintain peace and harmony. So matrimonial alliances like this were very common in history. This is how Krishnadevaraya married Jagan Mohini. In 1522, he recaptured Raichur from King Ismail Adil Khan. Later, he captured Kalaburgi and Bidar forts. So, you can see the picture here. What you see on the left, this is the Kalaburgi fort and this is the Bidar fort. He got released, the son of king who was imprisoned by Bahmani prime minister, and restored him to power in Bidar. So there was king's son who was jailed or who was imprisoned. What did Krishnadevaraya do? He helped to get him released and he put him back, or he ensured that he became the king again. So for this, he got the title Yavana Raja Pratishthapanacharya. The literal meaning of this title is Master of the Foundation of a Muslim Kingdom. Why? Because the king's son that we are talking about is a Yavana, meaning a Muslim king. So he helped them to go back into the power. That's why he is called Yavana Raja Pratishthapanacharya. That means the Lord who helped in regaining the supremacy of the Muslim rule. Vijayanagara Empire had extended in all four directions during his rule. So during Krishnadevaraya's rule, he waged so many wars, he defeated most of his enemies, and the kingdom expanded like none other time. It expanded in all the four directions, but unfortunately, he died of ill health in 1529. So it is really sad to know that such a great and a powerful king, he died not in battle but of ill health. So he died of ill health in 1529. So Domingo Pace, I'll end this video with this quote by Domingo Pace, who visited his kingdom, who stated this about Krishnadevaraya. Krishnadevaraya was a soft person with a strong body. So it is very true. We can know about this from the very incidents that is mentioned in many of the history books. As I told you earlier, he was not only a great king but also a wonderful human being. So that was about Krishnadevaraya. Friends, That was about Krishna Devaraya. I will be back again with the next video in which we will talk about the Aravidu dynasty and the battle of Rakasa Tangadi and its effect on the Vijayanagara Empire. I hope you enjoyed our video. Please keep watching our videos. Please like, share and comment and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you.